Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Justice League Task Force issue 8, and we're going to continue from the last issue 7, where John turned into Joan Johns to infiltrate a group of Amazon women that has kidnapped a guy, a person, a man, and that man has a deadly virus, and they want to retrieve it. So, but the women over there want to only talk to the women of, the outside world. So John, who, assembles a group of all female warriors and superheroes. Then they go on to a mission, but then he decides that he needs to change it. Well, not he, well, other people decides that he needs to, change. So, and since he's a shapeshifter, he changed into Joan Johns. And Joan Johns has been, how do you say, chosen, if you will, by the queen of the Daals. The Daals is that species. And he or she is getting prepped. And before I get into, I just read it a moment ago, and I really love it because it's not only funny writing, it's smart writing, but it's also clever writing. And what I mean with that is it tackles issues that's been blown up in the social media for a very long time. Blown up as in out of proportions. People are so sensitive to certain topics. And the writer tackled this here in the 90s, very subtle, and in a very good way. And I'm coming a little bit later to that. And by the way, I love the cover. I can't remember, there is a snake in the comic, by the way. But, the cover looks great. Anyway, so we see here John or Joan being, pampered. And you know that I always, complain about backgrounds and details and the lack of thereof. Well, here it is. Here it is. This is exactly what I mean. Why backgrounds are so important, because you're getting immersed in the surroundings and the places that people are, when it comes to a jungle or to a house or to, I don't know, a mountain or wherever. I mean, we have drapes, we have pillars, we have people, walking around doing stuff. We have plants. We have these, I think, ornaments or whatever it is. Small little details in there. Also here, this fruit bowl, and also the details on the ornaments and the headdress thingies. There's a lot of it in here, and I really, really love that. Instead of, hey, let's put 3 people in here and smash some colors behind it and make it very bright, because that's what modern comics are nowadays. It's very bright, oversaturated colors that I don't like at all. I just dislike it. Moving on. The face of John. Love it. And then we see that she is being, again, look at that. Look at how cool this looks with all these shiny ornaments and the clothes. And so Gypsy is in there, and she's invisible. And Joan is feeling very uncomfortable because he's being prepped for the mating ritual. And so he orders a servant called, I believe, Luta, to check on the prisoner, because they hide the virus somewhere, and they want to know where the virus is. And it seems that the virus is somewhere hidden on the island. And John ordered Gypsy to become invisible and follow, what's her name? God, Luda. But there's also some jokes in there. So, hey, don't tell Batman, don't tell Booster Gold, don't tell anyone, Blue Beetle, that he is becoming a woman, and the situation that him, because he's feeling very embarrassed. Art looks gorgeous, by the way. But again, what I'm trying to say is with the clever writing, and because a lot of times men are being depicted as chauvinistic, sexist, pigs, if you will, and in comics toward women. But then Maxima says um, that it's disgusting. A woman monarch seeking another woman as a mate. It's unnatural. But the rest of the Justice Leagues are going a little bit against that, and she says it's all of a matter of liberal and conservative, Vixen. A woman should be able to pick her. Should be able to have her pick of men. Yet these women have isolated themselves and settled for bonding with other women. And then Wonder Woman asks her a question. So what's then the appropriate form for a woman? And Maxima says, hold on, Diana. Amazons had no men around for centuries. How did you handle that? And then look at all these faces. All I say, we don't call it Paradise Island for nothing. So, okay, going back to the modern, day comics again, it's been hinted that they want to make Wonder Woman bisexual or lesbian, and they make it a very big thing about that, a big deal. But here, I mean, she is coming from Themyscira. I mean, an island full of women, Of course she is bisexual. Of course she likes women, right? Cute, she says. And so, yeah, that's not a big deal. And people accept that because it's, 1 and 1 is 2. So, right? So nobody bats an eye if woman came out as bisexual because, duh. Anyway, but, modern comics wants to make a big deal out of that. Like it's the newest thing ever. It's not. So we switch to the prisoner. And, the guards has been taken out momentarily because Gypsy wants to know where the virus is. But the prisoner says, well, I have no idea. They took it to a place called the Holy Place. So, and then, okay, we see here the ceremony. Again, backgrounds, surroundings, very cool. And this is the queen in question that wants to consummate with John. Very cool. And then they make it official by, she's kissing him. And Dolphin says, I love weddings. And people are happy. John is still confused. And then we have this woman here. Hey, what's going on? And skipping a few pages. John has a, okay, let's I'm gonna reveal it, doesn't matter. So they're going to the the consummate place, the holy place, for consuming, if you will. But John is a little bit, defiant. I said, and because the Empress says, or the Queen says that she's very happy, and then that she met John, and that they're gonna have a marriage, and John says, but what about my happiness? What about my feelings? And but the Queen assumes that he would, or she would have the same kind of feelings. But John says, it would have been preferable if you just at least asked me instead of making assumptions. And then the Queen is, hurt, and also, coming over as feminine instead of bitchy. And then John says something peculiar. She says, the Queen said, oh, please don't hate me. I didn't know, and I'm sorry. And John says, I don't hate you. I feel about you as you do about me. What's going on, John? Are you playing with her feelings? Don't do that, man. It's not cool. And so the rest of the female Justice League following them. And then we see Luta, who is drunk and goes to the prisoner, and it reveals that she has been jealous of the Queen, and because she have served her for years, and now she would have thought that she was the chosen one, but now thanks to the outsiders, it all falls apart, and she wants to kill the prisoner. And then Wonder Woman, comes in and basically intervenes, and they're gonna have a fight, and Luta says, you pale-skinned witch. And then, again, clever writing, some comments aren't even worth of response. Yes, and that's what I'm trying to say the whole time. I mean, people are going to Twitter and said, "Oh man, misogyny and sexism and racism and women hating, blah blah blah." Instead of you could, if you're getting insulted, just shrug it off, man. Grow a backbone and don't comment on it. Just shrug it off. It's not worth it. And that's exactly what the writer tells the story. Don't if you're getting insulted, it sucks. Just don't engage it. It isn't worth it anyway. So she beats up the without, of course, any problem. The rest of the, what do you say, warriors, and she frees the prisoner. So, okay, now the story is getting juicy. So the ritual is going on again. Look beautiful, and she says, "Look at me, Joan Johns. Look at her who loves you in all her glory." And then Maximus says, "Is that what I think it is?" And then it reveals that you are a male. And when I read that, I just laughed. But it seems that she has been born that way. And because each generation there is one Daal, one half male and one half female. Thus our species perpetuated. Is that how you say it? And then she wants to fuck him, and John can't take it anymore, and he turns into himself again. And then the queen is feeling betrayed, and then they found the virus, and they want to break out of the island that has been underground. So John flies away, and there's a fight between them and Amazons, and also this someone wants to stab Maxima from behind, but Vixen saves her, and Vixen and Maxima says, "That was very noble, Vixen. Try not to bleed on my costume, though." I laughed. So they try to escape, but there's an obstacle. So the obstacle is that they are in active volcano, and John is vulnerable or afraid of fire, and he has some kind of a crisis, and he wants to ask the women to carry them out, flying, and Maxima and one of them says, "Well, we are loaded already. You have to do it yourself." And John explains that his fear of fire is psychosomatic, and he should overcome that. Also, some funny quips here of Vixen and Gypsy, because they ask who the Daals are, and John says they are extraterrestrials. They come from another planet. They come from outer space, and it seems that their ancestors, created the subterranean world, but they have no recollection that they have come from another planet at all. So, because probably generations has been, generations of breeding, and people probably do not know that they are from outer space. And then Gypsy says, "Well, John, I gotta say, that's pretty far-fetched." And I look at these faces of John and Maxima, because they are extraterrestrials. She says, "Okay, I'll shut up now." So they're flying away. And so John wants to, fly away, but he's getting attacked by the queen that wants to kill him because of the betrayal. And again, looks very cool. And then he saves her. But then we have some very nice moment here, because she feels sad and betrayed, and he says, "I'm truly sorry. I'm sorry that I've deceived you, but I was never laughing at you." And she says, "I don't want to apologize. You saved my life. At least I can do is give back yours." And then she turns into Joan and kisses her, and she said, "If you ever change your mind, John Jones, I shall be there." And that's a very nice, it's a very nice ending. Let's leave it at that. And the ending is here that he just flies away with a face, a little bit of a regret, I guess. And he's, pondering about, maybe that he one day will go back, but then without the physical contact. And he says, but it's not a decision not a decision I choose to make. But he thinks about it, which is cool. So yeah, overall, hey, Robocop free. Overall, this is a great comic. Again, smart writing. They tackle social issues, in a smart way. Because even let me show you the prisoner says something about gypsy. And he says gypsy, like the stripper, and she says, in your dreams, dude. They are very capable of fending themselves off against sexism and rudeness and male chauvinistic behavior. These women are great. They are not weak, pathetic. They are not condescending towards men or bitter or hateful. No, they are not. They are just capable of defending themselves. They have a spine. They grew a backbone. They shrug it off, like I said. Great stuff. Wow, 50 minutes. So guys, brings us to the end of the video. Like my video, share my video, hit the bell for notifications, leave a comment. I see you next time, and thanks for watching.